This is it. Buckle up, kids. We're doing a SpoilerCast. This week, we're talking about PlayStation's Spider-Man and the hit Netflix original, Stranger Things. Now, you've been warned, so do what you have to going forward. But we have all kinds of ideas about both of these, and that's what we want to talk about this week on the Free Play Podcast.
You are listening to the Free Play Podcast with Bubba Stallcup, Matt Warmbier, and Kate Katawaki, part of the Love Thy Nerd Podcast Network.
What's up, nerds? My name is Bubba Stallcup. I'm the Chief Community Nerd here at Love Thy Nerd, and you are listening to the Free Play Podcast, part of the Love Thy Nerd Podcast Network. And joined with me, as always, is our Chief Outreach Nerd, Matt Warmbier.
What up?
Couldn't have said it better myself. And our Chief Social Media Nerd, Kate Katawaki.
Hello.
Hey, guys. It's been a week, huh?
That it has, and it's only Friday.
What? Oh, I see what you did.
It's going to be the day that it is that you listen to this.
I thought you were having a senior moment after all of the Face app photos that have come out.
Did. I didn't do that.
Well, I didn't do it. I didn't do no. Ryan Guerra did your
Yeah, thanks.
And it was perfect.
Thanks, Ryan, for giving
really
my
was.
face
Congratulations
to the Russians. Thank you.
on that. Yeah. They already had it.
I mean, it was like looking through a time hole.
I look
it was crazy.
just like my grandma.
Really?
Yeah.
Mima?
I have a lot of things to say about the Face app, and I think that we would. Somebody said, "Hey, this would be perfect for you guys to do some podcast on."
On a blanket. Our face is on a blanket.
That's the merch. That's our first piece
There
of
it is.
merch. Yeah. So I think we'll circle back around. Kate, we can talk about that. You're the producer. You're in charge of this here show. So
Am I?
You run this baby.
if the show needs more cowbell, Kate makes sure it gets more cowbell.
It's fine.
But hey, let's get going. Before we actually get started, I want to let you guys know that we can't do this without you. So if you guys could do us a favor, head on over to lovethynerd.com/partner, and you can throw fat stacks of cash at what we do here at Love Thy Nerd. That's this podcast, our other podcast, Humans of Gaming, and our other podcast, the Pull Us podcast. Had to think for a second. We got a lot of stuff going on. And we've also got Beard Bros and Co-Optional, our two video shows that we do. There's a lot of things, the website, all of our social media stuff, going to cons. We do a bunch of things.
All
and
the
guys,
things.
we could not do it without you. We literally, truth be told, we just flat could not do it without you and your support. So if you like it and you enjoy the things that we're doing and the way that we're impacting not only the industry, but just the community in general, how we are affecting our nerdy neighbors and loving them well, then please consider going to lovethynerd.com/partner to allow us to keep doing and do better what we're already doing. We've got Gen Con coming up. We'll talk about that here in a little bit.
It's coming so soon. Oh, we'll talk. Oh, never mind. I'll save it.
You can say that. That's legal.
It's on its way.
We talked about that a little bit today in our staff meeting, and just the excitement and also the sheer terror that is Gen Con. But we get to do that. We get to go there because you guys believe in what we're doing here. So much so that some of you are actually coming with us to Gen Con. And thank you for that.
You guys are crazy.
You should.
I mean,
join us.
wonderful.
Crazy wonderful.
That's the one.
Yeah. You should join us for more shows. We would appreciate that. And we'll have a list of those on the website. Not now, but later. So don't go and check there because they're not on there. But lovethynerd.com/partner. We would enjoy that. And thank you in advance if you decide to join us and partner with us financially on this journey. Well, hey, we got a lot to talk about. You heard about it at the top of the show. We're going to be talking about Marvel's Phase 4. That is crazy, exciting, just a lot
Mysterious.
of questions. Yeah, and so they talked about that at San Diego Comic-Con. We'll get to that later on in the show. Also, just to let you know, this is our spoiler cast. We are going to be talking about Stranger Things Season 3, and we are also going to be talking about Spider-Man to video game from Sony Entertainment. So if you have not seen or beaten those two things, you're probably going to want to put this one on the back burner, or just go for it. You know what?
Why not?
Yeah, it's going to be fine.
You probably
Don't
won't remember
worry.
anyways. Hey, before
Yeah.
we get too far into it, I want to hear about Kate and frogs.
What?
I want to hear a story
Oh,
about Kate and
that's
frogs.
right.
It was an accident.
Yeah, I want to hear about it.
I apologize for burying the lead. This is
the real
what
story
the people
right
came
here.
for.
Mhm. I want to hear about this.
Okay, well, behind my house, there's all these ponds that are full of water, and Steven and I were out there, and
California
he
crazy.
said, look at all these, there's all these little frogs there. So I got really excited, and I grabbed one, and I was standing up tall, like my full height, and I dropped
yeah,
him
you're pretty tall.
at
I
my
love
full
the way you tell
height
stories.
of 5
Completely
foot
unnecessary.
3. So that was the height, and he fell on the ground and landed on his head, and he laid on his back perfectly still.
Something's wrong with us and our treatment of amphibians
Yeah.
and water
Well, then I
creatures.
felt so bad, and I was like, no! Like, I was screaming, and Steven was right there, and he's like, what happened? I'm like, the frog jumped out of my hand, and he fell, and he hit his head, and now he's laying there, and Steven's like, you mean like what Matt did to the snapping turtle?
Exactly like that.
Then the frog flipped over and ran away, and he was okay, but and then it
He had a
happened
big
again.
lump in his head.
It happened a second time with a different frog that I was trying to hold, but it landed on its feet.
How are you holding these things?
I grab them off the ground, and then I hold them in my hands like this so they can't get out,
Like a
and then I
cup.
look at them
Like a cup,
through
yeah.
the little hole
Yeah.
in my hands,
Yeah,
and I
you're
look at
making the
them,
hole too big.
but it's too dark, so I can't see, so then I open my hands some more, and the light shines on them, and then they jump away.
Yeah,
I
rookie
tried to
mistake
grab
right
them.
there.
Robs, yeah.
I tried to
least-
grab them, and I wanted to get one to bring in
get you.
here and have it in my office in the corner right there, but Steven
You
said,
know,
no, I don't know how to take care of frogs.
they take care of
Obviously.
themselves. They love jumping from people's hands. We're raising some tadpoles, so we have ones that have legs right now.
You are.
I saw that, and that's what made me think that I could take care of a frog in my
For
office.
Sure could. It's like a plant that you forget about for a while.
'cause you
and they take
guys
care of
have them.
themselves. Yeah.
But Steven's like, they're going to die anyways when the water dries up in the pond. I'm like,
wow,
we have to
sadistic.
rescue them. I'm going to PetSmart tomorrow. And he's like, well, why do you need to go to PetSmart? Don't get crazy. Just they're all going to die whether they come in the house or not. So
Ashes to ashes, frog guts to frog guts.
I guess, but I felt like a hypocrite because I too dropped an animal on its head.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure everyone heard that because things happen, and these things weren't even like these frogs weren't even trying to bite you like the snapping turtle was with me.
No,
Hey,
they were just.
You don't know that.
Probably
I'm pretty sure one pooped in my hand, or maybe it was mud, but
it was guts.
I think it was poop, and it didn't matter. I was really excited to see the frog, and when it fell on its head, I wailed loudly.
Oh, Kate, I'm sorry.
He was still alive, just I felt bad.
Almost dead.
You should go watch a Skillshare video on how to properly hold and care for amphibians.
But
Both
he's
of
a
you.
wild
Yeah,
frog.
I'm already working on it.
Yeah.
I'm in rehab.
I
for
don't know. I don't know if it would help.
No, the turtle's in rehab.
Snapping turtle rehab.
The
You've
turtle's
sent
getting
these
glued.
creatures to rehab.
I said no. Hey Kate, what have you been playing?
Yeah, good news. I platinumed my first ever game, and it was Spider-Man. I
Big
did
thumbs
it.
up, Kate. Big thumbs up.
I did it, and at first I felt some despair because I thought I would do it when I just 100%ed all the districts.
Yep.
But
And
it's
you have
not.
a couple more things to do.
You have a couple more things to do. And,
What was your last one you had to do?
Pay respects at the grave.
Oh yeah, yep. Bubba didn't do that. He doesn't care.
I have not
He doesn't
platinumed it,
care
no.
about Uncle Ben,
You
but
gotta go
I
find
do
Uncle
care
Ben's
about
grave
Uncle
and
Ben.
pay respects.
Yeah, so I paid my respects. I thought I was going to say something, but it was just a button press, and that was it.
You just pay respects. You pressed F for respect.
Yeah. So I feel really great.
What was the hardest trophy for you?
The hardest, I just really struggle at the challenges.
There were some really tough ones.
So getting
really
challenge tokens to buy this stuff and trying to, well, I guess the Taskmaster stuff I was able to do. I just didn't enjoy the challenges. I'm like, these are hard.
They were. I really enjoyed the Taskmaster part of the game, and I thought that came completely out of nowhere. Like, you do a mission, you're going to swing off a roof, and I'm like, what is this?
He just jacks you.
Yeah, that was super cool. There's a lot of cool stuff about the game. So I'm glad this was my first one to platinum, and that the platinum wasn't tied to playing on a certain difficulty and doing certain things like a lot of games are. It was very doable, and I feel great.
Good. I'd probably retire now.
Yeah, well, and I'm just one step above you a little bit in the 100%ing because I also 100%ed all 3 of the DLCs.
Wow, brag much?
Oh.
I'm
So
letting someone
it
borrow
was-
my copy. I can't even catch up, okay?
So I 400%ed it.
Is that,
I don't think that's how
There's
it
4
works.
the base game and the 3 DLCs,
okay.
each 100%. It's 400%.
Yeah, 400%ed. I 400%ed a platinum game. Everybody. Well, wow. Kate, I'm really proud of you.
Thank you.
Hey, I would be looking in your inbox, your email inbox, because PlayStation will send you an email thanking you for playing, and they're going to give you a little, a new icon to use.
Okay, good. I will use it.
I'm not even kidding.
I will
You're gonna
definitely
you're gonna want to print that email out and put it on your wall right behind you.
right behind me. Yeah, I will do that.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I should print mine out too.
Yeah, your wall's too far away though, so we couldn't see it.
I was going to rearrange the room for it.
Oh.
Yeah, he's gonna build a wall.
Yeah, you could do
I'm
that.
going to build a wall. I was going to frame the email and have it behind me.
As one
Wow.
does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, thanks for the encouragement to platinum the
You're welcome.
game.
Mm-hmm.
You were
it's good.
instrumental in me getting
Great.
it done, and
Good.
now there's only one of us here that has not done it. So
No pressure. We
Let
can't
that
start
be.
God of War until you platinum that game.
Oh no, that wasn't the agreement.
It absolutely was in my
No,
brain.
the
in my
agreement
brain
was
it was.
finish. Oh, and yeah, the agreement was finish Spider-Man, move on to God of War.
Finish means
platinum.
platinum the game.
Well,
2 against 1.
You could do it. You'll be fine. So after I 100%ed, platinumed that game and sent a screenshot of my platinum
400%.
to Bubba's PSN account.
oh, did you?
It's like
didn't see
the
it, yeah.
photo they took was me standing in like a hallway.
It's always the worst. You're like, I can't like
Terrible.
pose or something.
Perf.
Yeah. I started a new game in Dragon Age Inquisition for the 4th or 5th time, and I am so thrilled to be back.
I heard that was a ladies' game. I'm just kidding.
According to statistics, it is. That's funny you should say that. It really is. So
I've never played it, so I can't say whether it is or not.
you would probably not like it, but it is so much fun. I was seriously standing up, looking at the TV, repeating all the lines that they were saying, reading along to their
What?
dialogue, and Steven's
This-
like, this is weird.
Like a
But
service or something?
I'm just so happy to be back in Thetis. That's their world.
I did myself a solid many years ago, or at some point when I didn't really have a PlayStation 3, but when I was able to get Dragon Age, I think it's Inquisition. Is that one of them?
Yeah, that's
a
the
bad one.
latest. That's the latest one. That's the one that I'm
Well,
playing.
that
she's
was a
talking
free game
about,
on
yeah.
PlayStation Plus, and I didn't have a PlayStation
Yes.
3, but I just chose. I was like, yes, I will accept.
It looked
that.
really bad on PS3.
Did it? Oh well, shoot.
Yeah.
I haven't.
It
played
looked
yet.
bad. I told one of my professors at college to play it, and she was like, "It looks so rustic on PS3," and just it
Dude,
ruined the game.
What are you
experience.
supposed to play it on?
PS4.
Oh, it's on. Oh, okay.
It came
I
out
thought
in
it was-
2014. What's
I thought it was only a PS3 game.
no,
No.
no,
No.
You
Leave
are
me alone,
so
guys.
wrong in many ways, but. This game, I am just so it literally feels like I'm coming home. I know this game like the back of my hand. I know all these locations like the back of my hand.
But you didn't platinum like at the back of your Spider-Man.
But I don't know, actually. I'm assuming not. I've played it a lot of times, but I don't think I've platinumed it. I just... And for those who are wondering, which is everyone, I am playing as an elf mage, which is a double interesting thing about it because just the political climate of the time,
Yeah, I hear
like
ya.
mages, are not really liked, and the elves are kind of on the outs.
elves are, they're on the outs.
Yeah, so just this game.
Well,
If you
keep
haven't
us
played this
posted.
game, get it. I will keep you
which
posted.
which Dragon Age?
Inquisition.
Is that one? Okay, I didn't hear that part. I was just guessing.
Yeah.
That's the most recent one, and they recently did announce that they are working on the next one. I was not satisfied with how they announced it. We need a lot more details, not
They just said
vagueness.
it's coming.
They basically did just say it's coming in like a minute trailer that was super vague. Like, what?
Well, that's what they did with Skyrim 5 or Elder
Oh,
Scrolls
yeah.
5.
Or
I just-
Metroid Prime 4.
Metro Prime, like, it's coming.
I just have questions.
Prepare your bodies.
but Whatever. My body's ready. That's why I'm back in Inquisition. My body's ready for another playthrough of
Yep.
this game.
Keep waiting.
This will be number 4.
Impressive. That's
So,
very impressive.
Hey,
I've logged a
this
lot of hours.
is. I'll share this, but I've got to show this to Matt. This is the
What?
picture that Kate took. This was what. This picture of her back.
He,
I'm
too,
standing
yeah.
in
he
the
really
lab.
did
I'm
it.
in the
He
lab.
really
That's
did it.
All of the time that you take spending
You're
playing as Peter Parker, doing all this stuff, and that's the flattering picture that it takes of
I'm
you.
pretty
Yeah.
sure that I was also in the lab when I platinum. I had like
Maybe-
one Doc Ock challenge left.
Yeah, maybe that's what I did was the last thing I did was finish the lab things, and that's why I'm
Yep.
in there. But it just was not a
It's
flattering
a,
photo
it's a
for a
really.
It
Peter
just
looks
it
so
takes
good.
a picture. It takes a picture whenever you get the trophy. It doesn't care what you're doing.
Well, it should.
Yeah, it really should.
So,
yeah.
anyways, Matt, what have you been playing?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked. I
Always so
don't-
polite.
I don't think that I have actually turned on my Switch or my PlayStation all week. I'm trying to think back here. Yeah, I don't think I have at all. But I have played a lot of tabletop games. Bubba and I talked about Tiny Epic Mechs this past
did.
Friday on Bread Bros.
You got stomped.
And I got stomped. I saw it coming on co-optional. Couldn't stop it. That's okay. It was good. I'm glad. It was good. It's good that Aaron wins and I lose sometimes. Like, it keeps it, keeps us honest. Like,
Yep.
if one of us is winning all the time, it's not good. But it was just a really fun game. And if you haven't played it, do so. And if you haven't watched our streams, do so. I'm looking forward to playing again. I think I like it more with more people.
Oh yeah.
Like, one is fine. And it's still a great game, but with more people, it's just kind of, there's a lot more fighting. There's a lot more, I don't know. There's a lot more out of your control, I guess.
Yeah, a lot more chaos.
That's the
with
word
more
I was looking
people.
for. Yeah.
Mech chaos.
I see what you did. I see what you did there.
I also was able to play Rurik, which I guess I was, last weekend. No, last week. Was able to play it, and it was a great game. It's beautiful. The pieces
looks
are
so fun.
Yeah, the figures and the pieces of the game are just like really awesome. They feel good in your hands. The game is easy to learn, but it's one of those, like, it's easy to learn, but then the strategy is like deep, and you can play it like really fluffy game if you want and not really think about it. But if you really want to get into the strategy of it, like, it's there. Like, it's a whole new mechanic, like a betting mechanic where you're putting down your workers, and your workers have different numbers on them. So that's kind of like how much you're kind of betting on each column. And
even that can change.
And so if I really want to move on my turn, and I put a 4 down, that's great. You're going to move, and you won this one. You can move the most, but you're also going to be moving last. So it's going to, like, really, especially in battling, like, maybe I want to battle more than everyone else, but if someone battles me before then and I don't have enough people to even battle, like, I'm kind of screwed. So there's like there's a lot to think about in it.
And that's one tiny aspect of that game.
Yes. Yeah, it's a very small aspect of the game that can make it the biggest difference. So if you're going to be at Gen Con and you want to play, come find us. We have some advanced copies that we would love to play with you. We do have some events that we're going to be running, but they're all sold out, so you can just come, like, watch and drool as we play.
But we will also have them in the free play area,
yeah.
whatever that means at Gen Con. We'll find a place to play games, and especially even at our hangout, we'll have all these games that we are
hangs.
demoing and stuff like that.
It's called a
Rurik.
meetup.
Sweet
Okay.
hangs, bro.
a
I also
meetup.
played Parks, and Bubba and I are going to talk more about that probably this week.
Yep.
And it's beautiful
Man,
game. Just
Ooh-wee, their final version of it.
it's so
Mamacita.
so good.
Yeah.
I'm already looking forward to like an expansion with more parks because I want to see more art. I want to visit more parks. And if you're interested in parks,
I am.
come hang out with us. Well, come
Are
hang
there
out with us
more?
on Friday.
Can they add more parks? Didn't they do all the parks?
They didn't do them all.
Oh, did they not?
No, they did. I think 46, and they did 48 parks, and there's I want to say 50 something.
Yeah. My guess is as many states as there are.
Maybe
There's
does
way
Rhode
more
Island?
though. There's way more. There's way more national parks in.
Or are they really?
There's more than one. Yeah, like look at Utah.
I don't know.
There's got to be.
Well, there's a
They have
lot.
I try not to.
Canyonlands and Arches.
You say Candylands?
Yeah, Candyland. Candyland National Park.
That's my favorite one.
There are 58 national parks.
Okay, so there's room
Boomers.
for an expansion.
There's room
then.
for a small expansion. They could even do like state parks if they really want to go crazy, because there's
Smart.
tons of those, tons of beautiful ones too. So yeah, I'm looking forward to playing that. I'm hoping Aaron and I can play it tonight, and then we will be talking about it this week as well as doing a Gen Con
Yeah, we will.
hype show. So
show.
I kind of want the game Parks. I just need to see what it's about and see if I could play it
it's
because
about
parks
hiking.
are so cool.
Well, aren't you in luck? Because as Matt just said on Beard Bros and Co-optional, you're going to get to see
What?
parks.
I know, so
Yep.
I'm going to be watching.
Most def.
It's going to be. It really is. I also played parks as well. We did not finish our game. I'll talk about that here in just a second. But it's gorgeous. The quality of the pieces is. I mean, if you guys know anything about Keymaster games, they don't do anything just a little bit. Like everything that they put out is quality. And this is the next step in that. It's bananas. I mean, like even I don't have my copy here because it's at the house, but the anywhere you see gold, it's like gold print, gold ink, like gold foil ink. It's not it's not spot UV or anything like that. It's like it's gold ink.
It's legit.
And it's so gorgeous and reflective, and it makes everything just have that extra level of just shine and professionalism. Oh my gosh, it just is gorgeous. And the way they made the trail pieces fit together.
Yeah. It's just so well thought out, like from start to finish, from top to bottom, the whole thing. So I'm looking forward to streaming that, talking about it more. But until then, Bubs, what have you been playing?
Well, so like I said, been playing parks.
All right, the end.
All right,
Yep.
thanks.
And moving on, next segment. No, also, as I mentioned on Beer Bros last week, I got a copy of Dice Throne Adventures in. And I say a copy of Dice Throne Adventures. I think it's worth noting that it's not the full game. Like this is a game that's still out on Kickstarter right now. And we're going to be doing some stuff on it. Actually, at Gen Con, we're going to be filming some of our stuff. We're going to have Manny Tremblay, the artist of Dice Throne, and also we'll have Aaron Waltman, who is basically their do almost everything else bro. He's handling all their conventions and some of their marketing stuff. He's going to be with us, both of those guys, in our house at Gen Con. And so we're going to be doing some content, recording some things there with them, including a playthrough of one of the scenarios of Dice Throne Adventures. So Matt and I'll be doing that. It's going to be great. Excited about that.
Pumped.
But
bruh.
we played Dice Throne Adventures at my game night. So like I got it in when we were doing Beard Bros, and I showed it, and I haven't even punched it yet. And so we sat down and we played that evening because it was our game night, which was perfect because our Dice Throne bros were there and they were excited.
That's awesome.
And they sat down and they learned how to play that game like from scratch because it is different. It's worth noting that it's not just it's just Dice Throne. It's not.
It's an adventure.
It is an adventure. If only that were in the title to just make
It's an
it.
adventure.
But it was great. It's a long game. Carve out time, and it only gets longer the deeper you get in the dungeon. Like we played for about 3-ish hours, probably just a
Whoa,
little bit
bro.
north of 3. And we were learning how to play it. I didn't get the rules with it, so I was trying to go from memory, and I was messaging both Aaron and also Manny at the same time. And so as quickly as they could get back to me on questions that I had. But it took us about...
Did you say 911 in your message? Like just say 911, and then when they respond, what's happening? Just ask the question. So
No,
if you say 911, then people respond faster, I noticed.
It's
right,
true.
but I've also noticed that if you just message your friends, that they'll respond to you. I don't have to send 911.
Well, you never know. You say that now.
I would work on building relationships, Kate, a little bit more, and then you don't have to like fake people out that you have an emergency.
It's fine.
On another note, if you ever send me 911, I swear.
What if it's a funny GIF?
That's the only time to do that.
Okay.
But anyway, so I'm just saying, like, I'm going out there like, hey, if this is your first time playing Dice Throne Adventures, just know that it's going to take a minute. But we did not finish it. We got all the way to the boss. We were playing the Fallen Barbarian as our boss, and he started with 110 health. And we all started our collective journey with 15 health apiece.
Yikes.
Yes. And that's by design. So we got all the way to the end, and it was a wonderful journey. Loved every moment of it. But our party had to leave when we had him at 68 health. And our collective health was just at about 60. So we could have done it. It was totally doable. But it kind of made us want to lean into it and play it again. And we will. A lot more, actually. Yeah. So, and then after that, we played Parks. In Parks, you play it over 4 seasons. And so we got 3 seasons in, and the guy that Anna and I were playing with, he had to leave. So we didn't even get to finish that game.
Did you still count him in BG stats, though?
Oh, yeah, you know I didn't.
Good. Oh,
Yeah, because I don't count anything in BG stats. But we played games for 6 hours that night and didn't finish a single game.
Wow, that's
6 hours.
an accomplishment.
Yeah. Yeah, I platinumed not beating any games.
well, that is a trophy. You're welcome.
Yeah. But probably the biggest thing that I did all weekend long was we went on Saturday. We had to go to the store, and so we went to the Walmart, not a sponsor. And can I tell you how long it has been since I've been down the cereal aisle?
Like
It's
forever.
been
How
a
long has it
minute.
been?
It has been a minute. Guys, if you have not been down the cereal aisle at Walmart, go down the cereal aisle today. Pause this podcast and go down the cereal
I
aisle.
just have a question.
Like
Was
me
it
too?
the Walmart neighborhood market or the Walmart?
We have a super Walmart at our...
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what the neighborhood... It sounds fancy. It sounds very California.
No, it's just a grocery. It's just the Walmart grocery store with nothing else.
Oh, I don't... No.
Does not compute. That's fine.
Nope. Yeah, I'll Google it later.
It's just food. It's just groceries.
Well, yeah.
Because
No,
the
ours is
other Walmart down the street here is sketchy.
ours has like
It
a
is a
Jiffy
sponsor.
Lube in it and all sorts of stuff. Not
Okay, so
Jiffy
it's-
Lube, but it has its own...
So it's
Yeah, I
not.
think you're thinking
Center.
Giphy Lube.
Oh, that's it. Oh, that is a great idea.
TM,
Kate, write that
trade
down.
market.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's ours. Yeah.
Our dibs. But I went down there because Anna was like, well, we got to do a short grocery run, and we were out with the kids. And normally we do all of our shopping at a different store, but we were right next to the Walmart. And I was like, well, if we've got to get cereal, I would really like to get some Cinnamon Toast Crunch churros because somebody posted that. I don't remember if it was in the community or if it was on my Facebook wall somewhere.
I know exactly the post that you're talking about.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes,
And so I was like,
do.
oh my gosh.
it was Casey. Casey
Okay.
posted about it, and I
There
saw
you go,
that same
Puppies.
thing too.
And I was like, I really totally just want to go and get those. And on my journey down to the churros, I passed the most wonderful cereal in the entire world. And it wasn't just one, it was the whole friggin' aisle.
It's been
Like-
a while since you had some sugar, is it?
Dude, Cold Stone has cereal.
They do. Maybe
Yes.
that's just a Texas thing. 'cause-
No.
Any,
Get out of town.
Any Hostess thing that you can think of, there's a cereal for it.
Did you take a picture?
No, I
Then
could.
it didn't
I couldn't
happen.
think. I couldn't think of a single like. I wanted to take a picture of all of it and just share it with the world. But I'm walking down that aisle and I'm like, dude, Peter Pan's got kids. I cannot bring my kids down this aisle because I'm going crazy about all of the cereal that's in this aisle. I told Anna, I said, I want a bowl of everything.
Well,
don't wanna
I
take
was
it all home.
hungry, and now I'm starving, so thank you.
They got
I was hungry.
unicorn.
Now I've lost my appetite.
How about
They have-
LaCroix cereal?
I'm sure it's on its way. It's on its way. But of every, like, there's a bunch of different everything. Like, it's not just candies and all this stuff. It's a lot of it is you can get like the little like drumstick ice cream. Mm-hmm. That's a cereal.
What is this?
What do you mean? Like they have little mini drumsticks in the bowl?
That's exactly what I'm saying to you. I don't know exactly how it works because I
would
didn't
be-
open it up and look at it.
I would be down for that. Sign me up.
Hey, you want honey buns? Yeah, go get honey bun cereal. It's a thing. You like powdered donuts? Of course you do. Who doesn't? You're a red-blooded American. Go get donut cereal.
I like Sour Patch Kids.
Sour Patch
guys are
Kids
making-
has a cereal.
Are you
That made
kidding me?
Sick.
My
That's
son,
not real.
you have the same taste
on.
as my 7-year-old
Let me
son
Google
because
Sour Patch
he would
Kids.
not leave where the Sour Patch Kids cereal was.
I just
And
typed
he
in
was like-
Sour Patch Kids, and that's the first thing that showed up. Cereal.
Of course it is. The internet knows. It's listening to you. The algorithms are working. Caleb was like, "Why can we just get this? It's fine. It's no big deal. I can just eat like some of it." And we're like, "There's no way on God's green
Let's,
earth
like,
I'm
sample
sending
it.
Sour Patch Kids cereal home with you, because it'll kill him. It will literally kill him.
Maybe
He'll
it
eat the
makes him
whole box
stronger.
in a day."
Maybe it'll make him stronger.
Well, to me, that would be like a spider bite, like a radioactive spider bite.
Radioactive
And I'm not
Sour Patch Kids.
Let's see how
I'm not
much it
trying to
costs on
create that
Amazon.
superhero. Amazon, nothing. Oh, you
They
have
don't
one of
have
those
it
fancy
here.
Amazons.
They don't have it here. I guarantee you.
Go to a real Walmart and go down the cereal aisle.
Sour then sweet. Here it is. Oh my gosh.
I'm
It's $11
That's too
That's
much
too
money.
much.
It is not that much money.
or a pack of 3 for $21.
There it is. Yeah.
That's crazy. Oh my gosh.
Anyway, that's the biggest thing that happened to me all week was going down the cereal aisle. And I told Anna, I'm losing my mind right now. I'm losing my mind because I want to eat all this cereal and I can't. So we settled just, to end the story because I know I don't want to leave you guys on a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
We got the churros because
good. Thank
that's what we
goodness.
went there for. You got to have goals in life and you got to be able to achieve those manageable goals.
You really do.
And
I'm proud
I
of
did.
you.
So guys, that's just a little look into what we've been playing and or eating. And if you're playing a game that we should be playing, please let us know. We really want to dive in and play some of these games. But we have a bunch of different things that we're doing. We talked about LTN going to Gen Con, and that's just here. Like by the time you read this, it's just days before we leave, or before when you listen to this, it's just days before we leave for Gen Con. And we've got a bunch of things going on at Gen Con. If you're going to be there, you can actually sign up to learn to play Dice Throne with us. And we're talking like not Dice Throne Adventures. We are actually demoing that, doing a playthrough. I'm not supposed to say we're demoing it. We're doing a playthrough of Dice Throne Adventures several times, but all those events have already filled. I'm so sorry. But you can come and learn and play Dice Throne with us. This is the last of our Gen Con events. I'm sorry. Everything else is sold out. So you're going to want to sign up as soon as you possibly can. To do so, ASAP as possible. What you're going to want to do is just go to gencon.com/event_finder. And I'm going to say words out loud and we're going to make this just be true.
Okay.
You can also go to ltn.social/GenCon event.
Wow.
Oh.
We'll just do that. Yeah.
I
So that's
accept.
ltn.social/GenCon event. And if that doesn't work, I'm sorry about your bad luck.
If it doesn't work, type in .edu.
Yeah. .geocities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just try them all.
It's just a good rule of thumb. If it doesn't work, just type in .edu at the end of it. And
It probably will.
Yeah.
Take you somewhere.
Well, hey guys, let's move on to our next section. We like to talk a little bit about nerdy news, things that are happening, because holy bejeebos, there are a lot of things happening. San Diego Comic-Con it's over. Forget about it. Forget about it.
It is happening again next year.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I don't know. I don't want to spoil anything, but we want to talk about some of the things. The Witcher dropped a trailer, a pretty beefy trailer. And that's a pun, because dang if Geralt ain't the most ripped bro I've ever seen. Kate, you want to talk about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet you do.
I didn't know how I felt about Henry Cavill playing Geralt, but this trailer kind of made me.
Well, it's because
feel...
you hadn't seen him with his shirt off yet.
Ooh.
You didn't know if he was going to be. You didn't know if he was going to be the Man of Steel or not.
No, but the thing is that one thing that I liked so much about Geralt in the games was his voice. And clearly the voice actor is not going to be doing it for this, which I think is lame and sucks. Because his voice was awesome. So I just wasn't, I don't know, sold. But seeing this vision of theirs is cool.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think they were already managing expectations, because in the trailer it says... based off of the best-selling book series.
Exactly.
It doesn't say anything about the video game.
That's the thing, is it's based on the books, not the video game. It's like a reimagining.
Yeah.
It's like the Lion King live action.
Yes, it is. It's just like that.
Did you really just...
It's basically the same thing.
Oh, man.
But a little bit different.
Could not have thought of a better one-to-one. Thank you, Matt.
The monsters looked intense. Like, I feel like when I watch it, I'm going to be scared, but I'm still going to watch it because I like The Witcher.
You probably will be.
I do think that the casting was really cool. I'm really excited to see it now.
The trailer did everything that I would have hoped it would have done. It looks amazing. Mm-hmm. Absolutely amazing. I've not played through enough of any of the Witcher games or read any of the books or any of that
shame on you.
To look at it and go, oh, that is, that's lore accurate or whatever. Like I couldn't tell you, but I do know that it's a fantastic game. I know that it's an amazing series of books. Mm-hmm. It's a wonderful storyline, and it looks like Netflix is doing it justice by putting the right amount of time and effort into making it look well. We'll see if the story carries what the visuals have shown us here in the trailer, but I'm hopeful.
Me too. I'm more hopeful than I thought.
Honestly, I hope that this is the start of, well, I guess they are basing it on the book series. I was going to say, hopefully the start of like really good originals that were based on games, not trash ones.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Which the jury's still out on things like Castlevania and
the first season was great. Second season,
I liked it. I thought it was all right. I really did. Wow. But nerds, right?
Am I right?
That's true.
Am I right?
Yeah. Am I right or am I right?
You're right.
So the Witcher trailer. Hey, make sure if you haven't seen that, we'll have a link in the comment section below. Just go ahead and make sure that you click on that and lay your eyeballs on it. It'll be good for you. All right, let's move into some spoilers here, okay?
Okay, SpoilerCast. Ding, 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 ding,
ding, ding. If you do not want to have Stranger Things or Spider-Man to video games spoiled for you, then don't listen anymore. But if you don't care, or if you're interested in these and you've wanted to talk about them for 1,000 years now, now's your time. This is it. So as loudly as you can, yell at your phone or your computer or... Yeah, we make your voice heard on this discussion, and also let us know in the comment section below. And don't forget to hit us up on Facebook or Twitter, Instagram, wherever, and let us know what you think at Love Thy Nerd on all those things.
Oh yeah, someone did have a comment for you, Bubba.
Here we go.
About
say it to my face.
Last week's episode when you talked about Spider-Man, and you said you had your opinion about the after credits scenes and how
right.
You didn't like them. BT Cooper wrote and said, my opinion on Bubba's opinion about Marvel's Spider-Man after credit scenes, you're wrong.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's what I said.
3
back.
versus
Thank
1.
you, because now, 3 versus 1.
I've never been more happy that my opinion is the only one that matters.
Say what?
No, hey, that's
that
fine.
backfired, so
That's kind
So
of.
you thought it should have ended when? Right after Aunt May died.
I feel. Okay, we'll talk about Spider-Man. So I feel that it should have ended when I said like 5 to 7 minutes earlier than it did. I did not when they put Doc Ock in. What's it called?
The Raft.
I almost called it Arkham Asylum because
It's the
that's
same.
basically
No.
what it is.
that's not
When they
what
put
it is.
him in the raft, I think that should have been the end of the game. Boom, roll credits. Thanks for playing.
But then it just ended so fast. Are you kidding me? You gotta,
What
have
was after
some
that?
gratification.
Miles.
So
was
the
talking
things that were
to-
after that was the very next thing that was after that. I think was I think that was when. Is that when Peter and MJ got back together?
That's what I was
Was
gonna-
that the
yeah.
next one?
Yeah,
And that literally was, and that wasn't even that was before the credits rolled. So you had Peter and MJ. Oh, they come down, they sit down, and he's like, "Oh, I gotta move," and she's like, "Oh, well, you can move in with me," and he's like, "Do you want to?" And then she's like, "Yeah, dog, totes," and
That sounds
then
I remember that part.
then they
yeah.
start making out,
she
and
said
then
that.
boom,
No,
roll
that-
credits, and I was like,
What are you talking?
"What
why
a
was that-
terrible way to end that."
Oh,
Nah,
because people are
false.
happy, Bubba.
Why can't
Because
they
they're
be happy?
happy.
He
Why
just
can't they-
lost his aunt. The city's destroyed. He
Yeah.
he lost his
I know.
place.
I
Give
know.
him one win in this thing.
I don't think that. I think that could have been the post-credit scene. I think that would have been a great one. But to end the main story on such 6 months later, 8 months later, whatever it was, on such a high note, it didn't fit. It did not.
So you think
fit.
they should have gone like Miles talking to Peter about Spider Bro powers?
Yeah, 100%.
Instead of
then-
the MJ scene.
Yeah, so for those of you guys that haven't finished the game, or you have, or whatever, it doesn't matter. That was the mid-credit scene, was Miles being like, "There's some things changing with my teenage body," and so Peter's like, "Yeah, well, things are going to change at this time," and he does this flip onto the wall, onto the ceiling, and then Peter does it, and they share a moment, and that one I was like, "Okay, cool," and then what? Now what? Okay, you've set me up for another thing.
Yeah.
And then
Next
you
Spider-Man.
go and you watch all the credits, you finish it all the way to the end, and the next thing we get Harry in a test tube floating around because nobody in their right mind thought he went off to summer camp or wherever it was that he was
To
going.
Europe. He was going to Europe on a big Europe trip.
Maybe that was
Nobody in the
Europe.
world thought that he was going anywhere other than wherever his dad was holding him. Because he's the Hobgoblin, and we gotta fix some
Green
things.
Goblin. Come on, man. Get out of here.
Harry's not the Green Goblin.
Well, he was in Spider-Man 3.
Oh my gosh! Don't even. No, Norman is the Green Goblin. Harry's the Hobgoblin.
Well,
Anyway,
Then what does this mean then?
they're making him into the Goblin. You already in the game. You picked up as MJ. You picked up the test helmet to be able to look and see the thing in the wall and all the stuff. So they're setting up the Goblin. And you guys tell me, do we ever resolve that in the DLC? Do you fight Goblin?
No. You don't.
What?
Because it's called a sequel.
waste.
It's called
What
a
a waste.
sequel, Bubba.
No, this is setting up the next game. The DLC is wrapping up loose ends in the
Yeah.
game. That's not a loose end. This is a
your
post.
sequel is Miles Morales. That's what your sequel is.
Correct. You're gonna be able to be both Spider-Man. Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's yes, absolutely. But I think your sequel is gonna be Green Goblin, Hobgoblin, one of those demon goblins.
To me, I think that it's way too much build up. I think honestly, they wasted Doc Ock as being the mastermind of everything in this game. I thought it was awesome. I thought it was amazing. But we've got way too much build up to Green Goblin. Everybody knows that.
Bubba.
Everybody knows that Green Goblin he's the foe. He's the guy. He's the old school bad bro. We know that.
Who else would they have brought then? We've already seen Shocker. We've
Yeah,
already
what do you
seen
mean
Doc Ock.
brought? They brought the whole freaking gamut. We fought Electro.
No, but who else? Like, who would be this
who
one?
else would it be?
Who would be this
Venom?
outro scene?
No, I think that the guy that we fought should have been Norman Osborn as Green Goblin. I think that should have been our boss fight.
Gotta leave me hanging. Gotta leave me wanting more.
I think Doc Ock is your cliffhanger. I really do. Because that's such a buildup. I think that the way they built that character in Spider-Man, we could have done so much more. But it was just like, I'm bad guy now. Here we go. We're entering the final act.
Well, maybe they'll do something more like in the comics. There's this weird thing where Doc Ock puts his brain in Spider-Man's body or something like that. Consciousness.
That's the Spectacular Spider-Man.
Yes,
Yeah, absolutely.
And that was great. So maybe it's
could happen.
Doc Ock
I don't
being
think they're
Trixie.
going to go
Never
off
know.
the deep end with
Not
this
yet.
Sony line. Because they've already done Peter and Miles in the same universe, which is their own thing here. Though there is a Peter and Miles in the same universe.
In the
Miles
Ultimate
takes
Spider-Man.
over because yada yada yada. But I don't know. I mean, like that. So that's my take on it. Para Todo says, the whole thing here. Like that's my major take. I loved the game. I thought it was fantastic. I thought it was wonderful. I didn't like all of the stealth missions as MJ. I could have done without those. I barely tolerated them as Miles. There was one time when the game actually glitched out on me when I was running from Rhino, where Rhino actually didn't spawn correctly. Like he didn't run to the location he was supposed to. So I sat and waited for him to make a patrol for about 15 minutes that he just never made.
That's on you. He took too long.
Yeah,
Too cautious.
yeah. So I just let him catch me, and it took me like 10 seconds to get through that part.
Well,
But anyway, like I loved it. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
I loved all the outfits. That
Me too.
was really great to be able to sit there with my kids and let them paper doll. Like, all right, hey guys,
Yeah.
I'm gonna start this new mission. What should I wear? So
yeah, overall the game was great, and I think the next one will hopefully be even better. I'm hoping for some type of like Maximum Carnage
let's
story
freaking go.
of some
Yeah.
sort.
Which is good because that'll immediately bring in Venom into that.
Venom and all
Because
the other ones.
without Venom there is no Carnage.
They could
so.
do like a whole like symbiotes versus Spider Friends. They could have like
Yeah.
Miles, Spider-Man, get a Gwen in there.
We're already open to the multiverse. Let's just make it happen. I mean, everybody is primed and ready for that.
Yep.
It's just
And
a
I-
good game.
It just
Man,
is a good game.
Yeah.
I wouldn't change a lot about it.
Spider-Man has always been the thing where they cram too much into Spider-Man. That's always been, especially Sony. They just love to do that. And I think for a video game, you get away with that more because it's a longer play. You have, if we're going to bring Rhino in, and we're going to bring in Scorpion, and we're going to bring in Shocker, and we're going to bring in Electro, and we're going to bring in Vulture, we're going to bring in Kraven, like all these guys that you see in every single Spider-Man game ever, like, except we didn't see Kraven in this one, but
Right.
like when you bring in all these guys, like you have time to get through all that, especially with the scope that these games are now. It just makes sense to do. I just wish, I don't know. I had different expectations and they were not met. That doesn't mean I hate the game. That doesn't mean that I think it was any less good than it could have been. I just would have gone a different direction. So now it's like it has everything to prove, knowing that almost none of those loose ends got tied up in the DLC for me. I
Three of them
think
did.
they have.
Yeah,
Did
they tied up like minor loose ends. No.
So
major
talk to me
loose
about
ends.
Black Cat. Like, what did that
What
did that do?
Go on. It was just tying up the story, expanding the story a little bit on like why were we going around collecting these little things, and she was trying to get a bunch of valuables
It sounds like Black Cat, yeah.
Yeah,
to
because she's soups totes in love with him. She's a creeper and a half.
Yeah, well
Yeah.
then in the DLC, we thought we were working with a police officer when really it was her dad.
Okay,
Mr.
And
is
Hardy.
it Spider Cop? Oh no.
not Spider
Okay,
Cop.
because that
no.
was a girl.
So that was like we were going around finding lost paintings, and turns
Okay.
out they were all his.
Perf.
We worked with her. Now I'm like forgetting everything that it was about. Black.
Just you get more Black Cat stuff.
It's just more story.
It's just more story on that like loose end of wanting to know more about Black Cat, what she was doing back, why she was there, taking over, trying to take over stuff back from what's his name, Hammerhead.
Okay.
He was there, and then in the end, Hammerhead steals some Sable tech and turns into this like crazy, unstoppable dude. And then you end up working with Silver Sable to bring him down.
Okay.
So like the 3 DLCs kind of picked up light loose ends that were in the game, tied them all together, and
what was the third one? So that was 2 of them: Black Cat, Silver Sable,
and Hammerhead. Hammerhead was number 2, and then Silver Sable was number 3. Yeah, so it was all tied around this thing about Hammerhead. Really
interesting.
Yeah, it was super fun.
I'm all about more Spider-Man. To me, that was like the DLC was just extra story. I was really looking for it to bring resolution instead of introducing a whole nother thing. Like I would have liked for DLC to have been, you're playing as Miles Morales as a Spider guy, and he's learning.
That would have been cool.
It's like a lead up to Spider-Man 2, where now when you get into Spider-Man 2. Miles already knows everything, and we can get right into the story. We don't have to worry about all that jazz.
Yeah.
But, I'm not throwing shade on Sony. I think that what they put out was a superior product. I think it's great. I would have gone a different direction creatively, but, that's about all that was.
That's fine.
Yeah, it's whatever. So, Stranger Things. Mm-hmm. Kate watched exactly 0 episodes.
Oh, no, nice I was very busy with Dragon Age, I said. I don't mind being spoiled because I already read stuff about
busy playing that game. She is already beaten.
Okay.
We told you not to do that.
No, you did not.
We absolutely did. We told you not to do stuff you've already done, like watch The Office.
Yeah.
Oh, hypocrites.
Yeah.
Anyways, Hopper dies.
Oh my gosh.
Or does he?
I don't think he does.
No,
I
is
don't
not
think
dead.
so either.
There's no way.
Not dead.
There's no way.
Here's my theory.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Matt, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Internet?
He's not.
Are you ready?
No.
You guys may have already thought about this,
Okay.
but I am actually flabbergasted at the number of people I've Taco Tuesday, and at the number of people that I've actually talked to that have not thought about this. And it's not because nobody's stupid or anything, but different people pick up on different things, right? But my theory is that he went into the Upside Down.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because like the whole show in season 3, he keeps telling the whole thing that he keeps saying is leave it open 3 inches, leave the door open 3 inches, and of course he's talking to 11, but he keeps saying that over and over and over again, leave the door open 3 inches, 3 inches, and they refer to that crack in the wall to the Upside Down as the door. So my thought is, and my theory is that he, right before everybody explodes, he runs and jumps into that door. And he's been in the Upside Down before. Mm-hmm. So he knows what to expect.
He's in for a treat.
And he's like, oh, this is going to be great. But it's either that or get turned into ash.
I thought he absolutely went in there. I wouldn't be surprised if he ended up being the one in the Russian prison.
That I'm a little iffy on. I think it's a little too on the nose.
He maybe went in and they got their hole open and they got it out, because I can't remember how far in the future that was.
Not very far.
Sometime in the future.
I think like 6 months or something.
But yeah, I just don't think there's any way they can. He is a main character of that show. He is a loved character of that show.
Oh yeah.
He brings so much to it. I just can't see him getting rid of him.
No.
Just based on that alone.
Maybe you'll find out more on your predicted holiday movie.
Oh, well, we'll see.
For Christmas, he'll come back out.
I think you'll probably see him. If they do this, you will see him at the end of it. Or you'll see...
At the end of the next season.
You'll see him at the end of the Christmas holiday movie. And I
Special, yeah.
the only reason I think
Charlie
it's
Brown
going to be
Christmas.
the Charlie Brown holiday, Stranger Things Upside Down, Hopper's Alive Christmas special part. No, I think because we kind of alluded to it a little bit last week, but they were talking about, I asked my mom if you can come back for Thanksgiving and or come visit on Thanksgiving or Christmas or something like that. And I was like, it's going to happen.
Yeah, a message received, Stranger Things. Thank you, Duffer Brothers.
I mean, if you look at the other seasons, they've kind of made them timely with when they were released. 4th of July,
Absolutely.
Halloween.
Absolutely.
Halloween again.
Double Halloween.
Thanksgiving, maybe.
Yeah.
So I don't think he's dead, and I think that 11 will die in the next one.
I don't know.
Quote unquote.
Tough.
Die.
I don't know. It's hard because they need her.
They do.
Like, they legit need her.
But they proved they didn't
do.
need her at the end. They
Did they, though?
They did it without her. She had no powers.
Did they, though?
She had no powers.
Yeah, but they would not have made it to the end without her. Like, they would have been...
You're right, but they didn't need her in the end. You only needed what's his face's girlfriend.
Oh yeah,
Dustin.
Yep.
Dustin's
So
girlfriend.
that to me, the Never Ending Story song where they sang the whole thing, and everybody is just standing around wondering what's happening, and they're just singing back and forth to each other. My favorite part in that whole thing, that whole montage, was when Steve is in the back of the wagon and the Mind Flayer is like stomping behind them, and he's just like looking at the people in the front seat going, WTF the heck is even happening right now? And like the monster, the destroyer of worlds, is like stomping behind them, and they're like, this is what we're doing right now. Yeah. Fists in the air, everybody's riding the dog. It's like, it's a whole thing, and I don't think that would have been acceptable in any other show other than Stranger Things season 3, that episode. Because I think we had to build towards that. We had to be so engulfed in the 80s. We talked last week about putting the 80s in a blender, and I think that they had to go as hard as they did the 80s so that would work in that moment.
Agreed. And
It
they
makes
did
sense.
it. They did it. Now, Kate, get out of here and go start watching those episodes.
I am right in the middle of something in Dragon Age.
Oh my gosh. Do them at the same
You're
time.
gonna be fine.
It won't wait. I can't wait.
Do it at the same
You're
time.
going to be fine. So, I mean, Stranger Things, it's great. We're in complete agreement that Hopper is still alive. Split agreement that he might or might not be the American in the Russian side. I say no because
Is it Billy?
they met. I think that dude is
He's
super
toast.
dead.
He's toast.
I think that it is not Hopper because they said that they could not open
Right.
the door from their side.
That's my only hang up. And then I don't
Maybe
know
it's
who it
Barb.
could be. Yeah, it better
No,
be
they
Barb.
have said Barb is dead.
I mean, they
Rip
say
Barb.
a lot of things.
Yeah, that's true. So, I don't know. Let us know what you guys think about Spider Guy and also Stranger Things. Like, what'd you like? What'd you not like? Let's get the conversation going. And so, yeah, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us on this episode 62 of the Free Play Podcast. I'm going to change the intro just so that you guys know that we are not actually going to be talking about this so that you're not rope-a-doped. But everything else will be left as is, but I'll change the intro so that you guys know that we're not actually doing that. But this is episode 62 of the Free Play Podcast. Be sure to check us out on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, YouTube, and really wherever else you can listen to podcasts, even radio.com, for instance. If we are not on the place where you listen to podcasts, do me a favor. Just shoot me an email, bubba@lovethynerd.com, or hit me up on Twitter @BubbaStalkup, and let me know. And we'll do our best to get you where we need to be. And if you're not already a part of the Love Thy Nerd Facebook group, just freaking change that right now. Head on over to Facebook and type in Love Thy Nerd. You're going to find a couple of things. You're going to find our Facebook page where we do our Beard Bros and co-optional streams on Friday and Saturday, respectively. And also, you're going to find our Facebook community. Just be a part of it. It's great. This is where all of the goodness happens. You can also find us on the Instagram and Twitter at Love Thy Nerd. And also be sure to follow Free Play Podcast on Twitter at Free Play Podcast. And once again, guys, I'm Bubba Stallcup.
I'm Matt Warmbier.
I'm Kate Katawaki.
And for our cut man, Jonathan Clausen, we'll catch you next week. And remember, Jesus loves you, nerd.
You have been listening to the Free Play Podcast with Bubba Stallcup, Matt Warmbier, and Kate Katawaki, part of the Love Thy Nerd Podcast Network. Be sure to rate and review the show and share on all the social media.
Yeah, man, this is reality, riveting.